Want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, especially to those of you in Wakanda. Happy New Year to you all. South Dakota and Marvel's Wakanda, which I will discover before it's all said and done. You will all see. So, anyways, we're going to try to gather from this Viking Saints finish here. It was...
Yeah, that was
I mean,
an intense game. Obviously, being a Packer fan, I was rooting for this, the Saints to win, which they should have. They should have won the final game. Just recapping really quick. Stephon Diggs catches a 61-yard touchdown, but when he catches it, Marcus Williams from the Saints goes to hit him, lowers his head down, is not looking, just lowers his shoulder and completely whiffs. So then Stephon Diggs goes down and he ran all the way. Where all Marcus Williams had to do is just keep his head up, look at him, grab him, tackle him, game is over.
Or just keep him in front of him, maybe?
No timeouts,
Something?
nothing. That game is over. And he completely whiffs. Diggs goes all the way for a touchdown.
So was the game fixed? Do you think it was fixed, or was he just a bonehead play?
Oh, that was just a bonehead play. No, you can't fix that now. That was just a boneheaded play, which he is going to have to stew on all offseason. And probably, it'll probably haunt him for his entire life, because that was a play that should have been easily made. Very easily.
Well, you would think, too, that their linebacker would, or whoever in the huddle would say, okay, we literally just have to tackle this guy or whoever has the ball in bounds.
But that's some of the thing when it comes to tackling in the NFL. A lot of it is so bad because everyone just tries to go for the big hit. They don't wrap up, which is exactly what he tried to do. He just lowered his head so he couldn't see, tries to throw his shoulder, completely miss, and all he had to do was keep his head up and wrap up and tackle him. All he had to do, and the game was over. There was only 10 seconds left. The game was done.
Yeah.
They had no timeouts. They wouldn't have been able to run up in time and spike it. So it was just a horrible misplay. Which,
It was a great game.
Oh, yeah, it was a very good game. The Vikings jump back to a 17-0 lead at halftime. Saints start making their comeback towards the fourth quarter. It goes back and forth a little bit. Each hit. Saints get the lead with a touchdown. Vikings answer with a field goal, take the lead. Saints get a field goal, and then the Vikings, 25 seconds left to get the ball back with 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
And they score a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can honestly, I've been there before years ago when the Niners had Alex Smith. I know how hectic it was for actual, probably Viking fans.
Oh, yeah.
Last minutes, few seconds.
Yeah, I think we've all had
something
an
like
experience
that.
like that. We both had from both, the Saints perspective and the Vikings perspective. Obviously, as a Packer fan, I've seen, a Super Bowl run, so I know what, plays like that are like. Then also, as a Packer fan, a few years ago when they played Seattle in the championship game and blew it, so I know how the Saints are, feeling. Where all the Packers had to do was get it or recover an onside kick, and the game was done. Or Clint Dix just had to bat down this lobbed-up 2-point conversion, which he had all the time in the world to do and didn't do, and the game was done. So I can see both aspects of it, and I was kind of glad it wasn't my team in this, because that would have just been a horrible game to have to watch because it's been so intense. But since it wasn't my team, it was still an intense game.
Yeah.
So so now the Vikings move on to play the Eagles, which Eagles. No really offense to speak of. It was all of it was field goals in their game basically. I think they scored 1 touchdown. The rest were field goals.
Yeah.
So, can the Eagles, defensive wise, I think they match up fairly even, but the Vikings have a better offense than the Eagles. Which the Eagles have a lot of weapons on their offense. It's just the quarterback position.
Yeah, they're missing Lance.
Yes.
That's a big spot.
Yeah. And now it is in Philadelphia, so...
they have home field.
Will the elements play a factor? Because if the elements are bad, it's going to be who can run the ball better. So do you put your money on LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi?
Or McKinnon and Latavius Murray.
Exactly. And then you're just going to ask your quarterback maybe to make a play here and there, but be careful with the ball is basically it. That's all you have to... The key is, for the quarterback is to protect the ball.
Yep.
You don't want to turn it over, so run it. Throw a pass every now and then. And, it might come down to field goals.
Hey, I mean, it very well could. I mean, both defenses are good. The Vikings have a slightly better defense.
Yes.
But so I mean, if it goes to field goals, do you give the edge to the Eagles because the Vikings might not have broken the curse and they might miss a field goal at the end?
Well, see, now for me, I'm going to go with Eagles for two reasons. One, because I'm a Packer fan, I don't want to see the Vikings in the Super Bowl. But two, I picked the Eagles at the very beginning of the year.
Happen.
So I can still get there. So I have to root for them for that.
Oh man.
So I mean, even because in all honesty, I did not think the Eagles would make it past the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, I thought the Falcons had too much firepower. Eagles don't have much that wins, so I thought the Falcons were going to win. But no, the Eagles surprisingly came out and won. Very close though. I mean, they were all Julio Jones had to do was
a fingertip away.
Well, yeah, so they were that close to losing. So it's not going to be a high scoring game, I would say.
No, I would say probably lower 20s, maybe higher teens.
So like
If
21,
lucky.
17, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It won't be a lot of. It definitely won't be a high scoring affair, just because that's not the type of style the Vikings play either.
No, but the Vikings this year have put up some good points. Once again, it's just it's gonna be outdoors, so
it's gonna be cold.
What are
it's
the
in
elements
Philly.
gonna be like? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be cold. Probably.
I think that's gonna be an X factor is the elements of it. And the Vikings they're used to indoors. They don't go outdoors very much. So how will they be able to handle that?
It's gonna be interesting.
It will be. So who do you have in that game?
The Vikes.
Vikings. Okay, I'm going Eagles once again just because I have to.
I picked the Vikes Patriots on my Facebook Live, but I did pick the Patriots though to go to the Super Bowl early on before the season
My
started.
full Super Bowl matchup is still in play.
Sick.
Still have the
If
Patriots
you get it
and
right,
Eagles.
you should just. Man,
So
sick.
see, but in a way, I don't want to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl just because they did it without Carson Wentz.
Right. I'd love it. Yeah, it'd be better to see him raise the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, now I want them to still make it, but
wouldn't be the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be the same without Wentz. Because then in the offseason, it's like, oh, Nick Foles won you the Super Bowl. Do you? What do you do there?
Yeah, let's not think about that.
Yeah, but going back to the Vikings, they have huge questions in the offseason because they have
Oh.
3 quarterbacks that are all free agents.
Yep.
So who do you go? Obviously, you would think you have to go Case Keenum. Have to.
I would say he just got you a win.
Now, how much is he going to be asking? Because they are going to have to pony up.
Yeah.
Because it's not what he's done this year.
You
He's
don't
not
want to
gonna
get
ask.
paid backup money.
Yeah,
anymore.
he's not going to be asking for a cheap contract. It's going to be hefty, and they're going to compete with other teams. I'm sure other teams are looking at that.
Oh yeah.
Teams that might be a quarterback away from something.
Yep.
Broncos would be very interested. I would guess because they have no one there.
Broncos, Jets, possibly.
I think Jets are more in a rebuilding mode where they're looking for young.
Oh, okay, so you're
drafted.
thinking a team that's just needs one quarterback to make another deep run, possibly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say maybe the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos are very, and there's other teams that might feel that there's quarterback way, or they might just be looking for a quarterback as the Jets may look. See, I don't know if they do because they need like kind of a bridge. I just don't know if they want to pay the money that he's going to require to be that bridge quarterback.
I gotcha. Cardinals come up, maybe.
Yes, Cardinals
Cards?
with Palmer being retiring, so that's a possibility.
I'd say the Browns, but I don't wish that upon anyone.
No, definitely not. Redskins, because
What are they gonna do with Kirk?
I don't know if they're going to sign Kirk. Kirk Cousins might just not want to sign there because of how they treated him the past couple of years. That franchise tag.
Yeah, he's been franchised.
So
quite
he
a
may be
bit.
so disenfranchised that he's going somewhere else. He's like in his mind he could already be checked out of
Right.
Washington. And for a while there we were
The
saying
Niners. I would say the Niners, but the emergence of Garoppolo.
yeah, but like with a team being a quarterback away for a while there, like the Jaguars are just a quarterback away.
Blake
And,
Bortles today.
well,
Hey.
after that game today.
Hey.
Maybe they got that quarterback.
Hey,
I don't know.
Blake Bortles. He didn't look bad.
He threw a monkey wrench in a lot of the Jaguars' mindsets there. He's going to the game. It's like, all right, Blake, just don't screw up, and then next year you'll be off the team, and then we can get another quarterback in place there, and they won. And it wasn't like a defensive battle.
Oh,
no, it was a shootout.
Yeah.
And Blake Bortles
He was slugging it
more
with Big
than
Ben.
held his own.
One of the best.
Exactly.
Gunslinging wise.
So, I mean, yeah, that game, completely different direction than I thought it would go. If you told me the Jags were going to win, I would have thought, okay, their defense stepped up, their offense did just enough, and it was probably a low-scoring game. No, it was not at all.
Because I looked on our laptop at home a little bit before we got here, and I looked at like the play-by-play stats of that game. It was actually really close in pretty much every category, but I mean the Steelers had. Can you say it was the 2 turnovers? Because that was big.
Yeah.
Those turnovers were big.
Mm-hmm.
That fumble recovery and then that interception early on.
Yeah.
That Big Ben threw deep in their own territory and the Jags cashed.
Yep.
I mean.
Yeah, so I mean it was the Steelers were playing catch up the entire time.
Yep.
The Jags jumped out to a decent lead, and after that it was the Steelers trying to catch up to them. And God, if you're the Steelers, that is such a painful loss.
Their stars played good. They didn't look too bad.
But they started so slow. I mean,
Yep.
And there was a lot of talk the Steelers did on Twitter beforehand, basically saying, "Hey, Patriots, we're coming for you." It's like, well, you had to beat the team in front of you first, and you overlooked them. You overlooked the team that beat you pretty handily earlier in the
30-10.
season,
Picked them
and
off
you
5 times.
overlooked them, and now you get to go home and watch that team play the team that you were so expecting to play.
They asked in the locker room, a lady interviewed Fournette, and she kind of talked to him about that, and he said, yeah, we felt very disrespect that we were looked over. He said, you always want to go out there and prove the other team wrong and other people wrong around the league. And I was like, hey, it's a super young, alpha-hungry group.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone respected the Jags' defense. They knew it was a big defense, but everyone was so overlooking that offense because of Blake Bortles.
They have a good running back. Fournette's good.
They do. And, TJ Yeldon, holds his own too. But everyone was just, because of how bad Bortles looked against the Bills. I mean, because that was rough. He was missing tons of easy throws.
Yep.
And he came out to that first drive. He was hitting him and, led to a long
He looked like a
touchdown
top draft pick.
Yeah. And so that game, he looked every bit that it, because he had a good 3 games, stretch during the season. And he played just like that this game. And and they needed that too. And so everyone was, during the season, the week leading up to it was like, oh, can Bortles do anything? Can Bortles give him a shot? I don't think Bortles is good enough. They'll lose this game, then next year they'll get a new quarterback to, push him over the edge. And Bortles like, whoa, hang on. Hey, let's not.
Maybe that's what he needed to get a fire under him or something,
Yeah. And I guarantee that's going to be the same talk this week. Because how many people are giving the Jaguars a legit shot?
I bet they're a huge underdog right now.
Huge.
Going into Gillette. I bet they're huge underdog.
How is anyone giving the Jags any sort of chance at all to dethrone the Patriots?
Me.
You're giving them a shot.
A shot. Yep.
Put a percentage on it. What percentage shot do you think the Jags have to dethrone the Patriots?
I will give them a solid, whopping IHOP Lucinda chocolate hippo candies. 30%.
30%, okay. You know what? You think about it, I mean, their defense is good. They have a very good defense,
They could get after Brady.
Yes.
They really could.
And if you can disrupt Brady, then you have a shot.
Brady
does not take hits well.
The only thing I have in this game is I want to see who they match up on Gronk. I feel like he's the big X factor in this game.
He usually is.
It's.
I mean,
I want to see who will they put on Gronk and how will they guard? Will they double him, or will they have two linebackers on him, or will they put one of their safeties on him? Because everybody knows he's one of the best at pre-snap looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that good, getting players in the right spot. I want to see who will they put on Gronk. That's my big matchup in this game.
And for me, in order for the Jaguars to win, obviously outside of they do have to score points on offense, is if they're going to win, they have to get to Brady.
Yeah, they have to hit him.
You have to hit him often.
If he gets pissed.
If you can get to him, like I said, he does not take any hit well.
Nope.
So if you can hit him, get him uncomfortable in the pocket, then you have a very good shot.
Yep. You'll get in his head.
Much easier said than done because he gets rid of the ball so fast.
Very fast.
He does not hold on to it very long. So you have to cover enough for, to give your, defensive line some time to get to him.
Which they have the secondary that can do that.
Oh, they do, definitely.
They proved it today.
But then, when it comes to Gronk, who are they going to cover him?
That's the main match I'm going to be looking at. Who will they put on Gronk and how will... they talked a lot about these linebackers that they have, so now we get to see if Malcolm Smith and Telvin, whatever his name is, we get to see if they're as good as advertised, because they got a Pro Bowl, potential Hall of Fame tight end that they're going to see a lot this weekend.
Yes. So, before today's game, I would have thought, the Jags would have no shot against the Patriots, but they beat the Steelers, and their offense was the key in doing so.
Yeah.
So you have to give them a shot.
30%.
Yeah.
30%.
I would say around there.
30%.
25-30%.
It's fair.
They have a shot. Still a long shot, but a shot nonetheless.
This, to me, kind of reminds me of the year when the Ravens won that Super Bowl against the Niners. They beat the Broncos, the week before that, and then they beat the Patriots, I think, too, in that year to go on to win the Super Bowl, where Flacco was playing awful, but he played really well in the playoffs, and their defense stepped up. I don't know, is this kind of a reincarnation, maybe? A deja vu?
Yeah, God, if it's the Jaguars and Eagles in the Super Bowl, no one would have seen that coming.
No.
Nobody. At the beginning of the year, nobody would have picked that.
No.
If you did, I hope you put money on it, because you would be rich. Yeah, because the odds of that were slim to none. And not really so much for the Eagles. I think people, not too many, but some people were behind the Eagles, like myself. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. So I think Eagles would have been the surprise. It's the Jaguars that nobody thought.
Big time. They won their division this year.
Yeah, last year.
Go back to look at their season.
I picked them last year to make the playoffs, and they disappointed me so much.
Should have picked them this year.
And then this year, one of the reasons why I didn't is because they disappointed me so much last year. I couldn't do it. I could not pick them. And now, granted, I think that division is completely different had Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt stayed healthy.
Yep. Yeah.
Completely
Texans
different.
would be in the playoffs right now. Easily.
And, going into next year, I think no matter what the Jaguars do, going into next season, the Texans are going to be right there with them.
Mm-hmm. They have the defense and they have the offense.
Exactly.
They have a better quarterback, too.
Oh, yeah.
And Hopkins proved what he can do even with backups.
And, the key for the Texans is staying healthy, because, J.J. Watt is such a dominant player, but he cannot stay on the field lately. And so, if the Texans can stay, remain healthy, they are right there. And, the Titans made it to the playoffs, but...
I didn't even watch that game, to be honest, because I knew it was going to be a slaughterhouse. They went 35-14?
It was something like that,
They just dominated them in every aspect of the game,
the
pretty
Titans,
much.
got out to... They took the early lead with a touchdown, so up 7-0, and everyone was like, maybe? And then just came crashing back down to earth, like, nope! The Patriots like, no, we're not having this, so... You got your nice little lead, you got your hopes up, and now,
we're just
reality.
Gonna crush it.
And, in honesty, they should not have made it past the Chiefs. The Chiefs, oh my God. What is wrong with them?
Just like you said, that game was symbolic of how their season was this year.
Yep, started out really hot and then fell apart towards the end.
Yeah.
They did just enough to sneak into the playoffs. They held off the Chargers just long enough. And then, typical, Andy Reid, Kansas City, one and done.
I honestly think if the Chargers were in the playoffs this year, I think they'd have done some damage.
Oh, definitely.
Honestly.
They started out too late. They lost 2 games early on, but next year, I mean, if they can keep that group together, watch out for the Chargers next year.
Keenan Allen finally stayed healthy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So and then, so I'm sticking with my Super Bowl pick of the Patriots and Eagles just because I have to, because it's still potentially there. So that's what I'm sticking with. Do I think it's going to be that? No, I think the Vikings are going to win, but I have to go with those two because that's who I picked.
So one of my picks is still there, the Patriots. And obviously, if you guys watched the Facebook Live episode, I said the Patriots Vikings in the Super Bowl. But I mean, hey, if the Jags and the Vikings made it, I still think it'd be a great Super Bowl. It'd be a nice.
Oh, it's a defensive
It'd
dream.
be a nice defensive. For me, being a defensive person, it'd be a great pillow fight. I mean, hey.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the Jags and Vikings, I would, probably think the Vikings would win.
Right.
But well, if the Jags took down Tom Brady.
Oh, they'd have a legitimate chance if you
definitely.
can slay Tom Brady.
But regardless of whether it's the Patriots or Jags that if the Vikings have legit home field advantage. It's in their stadium, so whoever's coming out of the AFC has that immediate disadvantage.
Yep.
So I think the Patriots would be able to handle it much better than the Jaguars.
Yeah. The Jags would be a young team, haven't been there before. I think Calais Campbell might be the only person with experience.
And now, also, no one's really talking about it. Everyone's saying, "Oh God, they can just the Vikings make the Super Bowl home field advantage." Oh, it's like, but also having that home field advantage, there's gonna be a lot of distractions.
Yeah, the Super Bowl alone, the media days, and just in general.
And then it being in your home turf, there's gonna be a lot of distractions around there.
Yeah, how do you keep the players grounded?
Exactly. And if it's the Patriots, been here, done this before, no big deal. They know exactly how to do it. I'm sure they would have their schedule planned out. They would have everything taken care of. Business as usual for them. Vikings, it would be a completely different story. Because they would have a lot more going into it.
Because it's at home.
Exactly.
It's not like it's in Atlanta or somewhere else.
Right. It's not, that, neutral site.
Yep.
It's your home. There's going to be a lot of, distractions going on with the Vikings. And that, like I said, it could work to advantage greatly being home field, but then that can also work towards their disadvantage.
You could get in trouble or something, something stupid. You hope not.
Well, there's always that possibility no matter where you are.
Something stupid.
But yeah, it would just be, a lot of distractions going on there. But like I said, I'm sticking with my pick. Hopefully I'm right, because that'd be fantastic. Just because that'd be amazing. I actually call it the beginning of the season. But
genius.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Have to get you a Wizards cap.
I know, right? But really quickly, John Gruden signs a 10-year, $100 million deal with the Raiders.
10-year, $100 million.
Now, I understand completely why John Gruden signed that contract. If you give me a 10-year, $100 million contract, I would have signed that before the paper hit the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's set for life.
Yeah, so, but from the Raiders' perspective, why are you giving him that much money?
Maybe they think he's the guy.
When, one, he's been out of coaching a long time.
Right.
Long time. Two, you had already given up on this guy. You traded him away.
That's the other thing.
To the Buccaneers, because you were done with him.
Just saying.
And guess what? He beat you in the Super Bowl. Ugh. So,
grudge?
You trade him away, you're like, nope, we're done with you, you're not that good, we're going to get rid of you. He's been out of coach for a long time, oh, come back, please, come back, we're going to give you this giant contract, please, 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 come back.
So it's like they went back and now they're begging on their knees, for him to come back to them. So what does that say about the organization?
I don't know, that organization knows what they're doing. And like I said, that team was supposed to have competed for the Super Bowl this year.
Derek Carr's big contract
deal. They were a huge disappointment. And going into next year, it's like, we'll see what John Gruden can do. And they have the talent
the pieces.
There. Yeah, but can they finally live up to it? Is the distraction moving to Las Vegas here soon, getting too much or what? But
so it's interesting that Gruden's there because you listen to him on the Monday night football games and how he breaks down every play. My big question will be, how can the young Derek Carr handle how much Gruden's going to ride his butt in practices and give him that tough love kind of thing, That'll be another thing. How will Carr respond to that in the summer and especially in the football games because
Yeah.
Gruden's kind of old school in that aspect.
And then, God, 10 years. Not many coaches coach for 10 years.
I'll be 37.
And you think of the coaches that have coached for 10 years right now with the same team. Yeah, Bill Belichick.
Tomlin
I think Mike Tomlin might be there.
coming up.
Mike McCarthy, I think, is coming into his
Okay.
10th season, if not there already. And then I think maybe Marvin Lewis.
Yes.
Which, how he's still the coach
I
is
don't
beyond
know
me.
because they re-signed him, didn't they?
Yes, they signed him to an extension, which is just mind-boggling.
I don't know.
Makes no sense.
He's got to know somebody up top.
Apparently, because I mean, yeah, he's done a lot for the organization. He brought them from a just terrible organization. They were the Browns. Like,
Yeah.
they were a laughing stock. He got them to be respectable, but he has not won a playoff game, and this year they horribly underachieved. And
Yeah.
they signed him to an extension. Makes no sense.
I don't know.
So yeah, on one side, the Raiders, I think, vastly overpaying John Gruden. So yeah, I can understand from John Gruden's perspective. Yeah, give me that contract all day.
Yeah, I'll take
But
it.
Raiders, that doesn't make any sense. And then Bengals re-signing Marvin Lewis. What are you thinking? That was no, makes no sense to me. They need a fresh start there. They need a new voice
Yeah.
because clearly what Marvin Lewis has is not working now. So
Well, and then too, if they get rid of him during the season next year, they look like idiots still.
Yep.
So they look like idiots either way, basically, is what they've just done.
exactly. So then I think next week we're gonna be having a show where focus on our Packers and 49ers because they've both had a lot of changes.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll both give you our views on those. Because God, there's a lot that went on with the Packers offseason. And all of it, I think, is much needed. So we'll talk about that. Talk about that next week, along with the matchups for the Super Bowl. So yeah, everyone, have a good week.
Oh, really quickly, congrats to the Bison. They got their 6th title in
Yes.
7 years. That's great.
Yeah.
I was at Captain's Cove eating 24 pieces of Cajun fish in stressness from the game.
And I was at home watching the game, being stressed out because
Well, hey,
that was an intense finish. What, six championships in 7 years?
pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is.
Pretty impressive.
So, yeah. Congratulations to Alabama who won the college football national championship. Yeah. I have a lot of views on that one and I'm good, so otherwise everyone have a great week. Subscribe.